I just more so do it just to have a recording on YouTube.
Okay.
And Warren will probably he's part of a Facebook group. He's a moderator for a Facebook group, Mac to the Future. So he's gonna just share the link for them for the people could see to watch. We are live now for that.
Do you want to send me? I got the link.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need me doing any audio backup, or you got it all covered?
I got it covered. We're going to record in Zoom here. I got audio hijack, and I got YouTube. So I'm just crazy. I've learned all these years of doing podcasting. Thank you, though.
Cool.
Just sit back and have fun.
Some things down too. I've got probably too many things open at this point.
All right. Where is?
And also, let me kill. Give me a second to kill some backups, just to be sure that nothing runs.
Yeah, I better check my backup. We're good. Sessions. What is? Okay, audio hijack's give me a fit here.
Okay, there we go.
Is this it? Yep,
posted that.
Okay, we're recording on Zoom, and we are recording on audio hijack. Guys, give me a couple of tests.
Test 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check check check.
Looks good.
Hold on 1 second, Dave.
Oh, you're posted it to Max Feature.
I'm trying.
It's cool.
Hold on. Copy link. Streaming link.
Did you get notified when I post, when it shared? Is that how you got it?
No. If you go to Zoom and click on the where it says on YouTube, you could get a streaming link from there.
Oh, you just shared this. You just shared the show notes.
No, I changed it though. I fixed it. Refresh it.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my God, I don't want anybody reading this. I guess I could. Dave does that. Not like I have to be denied. Yeah, it's okay. Whatever.
Well, no, it's still there. The preview's there, but
when I see the YouTube link.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we get started. Thank you.
No, it's good.
Well, everybody on YouTube and Mac to the Future. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started.
It's all fixed.
5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to episode 119 of In Touch with iOS, a podcast that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and my co-host, Warren Sklar, is back. How you doing, Warren?
I am back. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Had a flu shot yesterday in my body. And, they say it's, you don't feel great afterwards, and you really don't. And I got like these weird pains all over my body. So, so that's how I am.
All right. And I want to welcome back my guest this week, Mr. Adam Christensen from the MacCast podcast. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing all right. Bothered to show up this time.
It's okay. We had a little bit of a scheduling snafu last couple weeks ago, but that's all right.
Yeah. And sorry Warren, you're feeling the flu thing. I know that's awful.
Yeah. No, and I never really get them, but my work was giving them out. I'm like, no, I'm not going to get it. They're like, well, you have to sign a waiver if you're not going to get it. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to have to sign a waiver. So
that's pretty demanding. I don't have to take a flu shot if I don't want one.
They're getting more aggressive this year, I think, because they don't want the double whammy. You don't want the double whammy. So I don't usually get them either.
I work with the elderly, so they kind of want me to be healthy, I guess.
But so we got there's a pretty good amount of news this week, so we're gonna be pretty heavy news, and we got beta to talk about briefly. And on Adam, I know I listened to your show this past week, and you just got a new Apple Watch, so I thought we'd compare notes, since I do as well. I got the Apple Watch Series 6.
I did. I took it off to charge though, because I didn't charge it last night, and then I didn't charge it this morning when I got back from my walk, so it ran out. But yeah, we can talk about it for sure.
Absolutely, and then and a couple other topics, and Warren's going to talk about his Tesla a little later too. So
sweet.
He just got a brand new Tesla. Was it like 2 weeks old, right?
2 weeks. Yep.
and he wants to talk about the app, so we'll get to that a little later. But let's just dive right into the news this week. The first story was caught my eye was Apple stopped selling earphones and speakers from rivals ahead of an expected new product launch, which this was posted a few days before the actual event was announced, which we'll talk in a second. They're no longer going to be selling any products at Apple stores. That would be including like Bose and Shure and many others that they used to sell over the years, and Sonos and Logitech. And so I guess they only want to sell their own products. Adam, what'd you think of this? I thought
none at all.
None. Yeah.
That seems odd. Unless they just weren't like good sellers. I don't know why you wouldn't want options. I don't know. Maybe there could be lots of reasons, I guess, why. More so than just them trying to force their own products on customers coming into the Apple store. It's weird because you would think that you would want more options for traffic, but maybe in the age of COVID that we're in, there isn't any retail traffic really right now. So
no, not really.
Yeah. Does this include their online store too? So
everywhere, yeah, online and retail. Yeah, it was kind of a surprise announcement.
I guess I don't. It seems weird to me because it doesn't. If someone doesn't want an Apple headphone product, they're not gonna buy one. They'll just go someplace else. And so it just feels more like Apple's just saying, okay, well, we're going to sell our stuff. And if you want, something else from a competitor, you've got Best Buy over there, or you've got Amazon over there. So maybe they're just not interested in the revenue. Maybe it wasn't worthwhile enough for them, considering their overhead. I don't know. But because I don't think that it's the kind of thing where, like, if you're not in the market for some, AirPods or a HomePod or something like that you're going to go, well, I guess they don't have that. They don't have the Bose thing, or they don't have the Sonos. So I might as well just buy a HomePod. Like that doesn't feel like customer behavior to me, or like
unusual.
Yeah, it is a little strange.
I agree. It's kind of weird, but with the COVID, there are some stores that are open. My local stores are open. You have to make an appointment to shop, and they probably don't want you trying on the headphones, and that's probably one of the main ways to make a selection. And I know you were able to do that before, trying the headphones, and they obviously don't want you doing that. But was it the watch? They stopped selling some other product right before they launched something else. It might have been the watch. There was another category of stuff that they stopped selling.
Right, I remember that too. I'm trying to remember. You're right. They did do that.
Something, I don't remember what it was, but so the rumored AirPods Studio are coming out. So if those studios come out, then you got pretty much everything covered. You got in-ears and you got over-ears. So what else is there?
Well, they kept the Beats as well.
Line.
Of course.
They kept the Beats line, of course.
That's true. Yeah.
But that's good segue to the next story. I linked to iPhone hacks. The Apple announcement is going to be this coming Tuesday as we record this on October 13th. More or less going to be an iPhone 12 event, they're calling it, and they're calling it High Speed. An interesting logo, and we're a lot of rumors of what's going to get discussed. The different sizes of iPhone 12s, and then potentially the HomePod, and then the AirTags, and all this other stuff. Adam, you talked about this. What do you think is going to be announced?
This is, obviously iPhone 12s are going to be the star of the show. Next iPhone, and I guess the debate there will be what the release schedule is going to look like in terms of how they're going to roll them out, because we've been hearing strong rumors that there's going to be a staggered release probably. High speed obviously refers to most likely to the 5G support.
5G.
Right. Yeah, along with, of course, brand new A14 processor, like all that stuff sort of ties into that. I guess it could tie into ultra wideband and something like the AirTags or something like that. We've been expecting those for a while.
Yeah.
I kind of feel 50-50 on that, whether that's something we'll see. Really all the rumors have been mainly just pointing to being an iPhone event. Yeah, and it'd be great. We've been hearing about a lower cost HomePod, and maybe the whole getting rid of headphones and speaker thing points to that, and the headphones. So it's possible. Apple always tends to have something a little extra, although in the past, I believe this event was often combined with the Apple Watch event, right? So kind of got split up. So they supposedly have a lot of things in the pipeline. Really, the only thing I'm expecting out of this event is iPhone 12, and anything else would be kind of gravy for me.
Yeah. Well, Warren, what'd you think? And then I was going to hit another topic on that.
Well, maybe the glasses in the car too.
That'd be awesome.
Be awesome. I don't see that.
I wish those are ready to go.
Two more things at the end.
Two more things.
Yeah, it's going to be the phones, and I think you and I get the pros. I think we're gonna have to wait another month to get those if we want to get them. What would be interesting, you're hearing very little bit about the new features of the phone, other than the LiDAR scanner, which doesn't excite me too much right now. But it'd be interesting to see what other than faster and slightly bigger. I'm not hearing too much else about the Pro.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to hold out for I have Warren and I both have the 11 Pro Max, which I love. I like. I know a lot of people don't like the larger size iPhones, but I do. Yeah, I do. I've had it since going back to the iPhone 6 Plus and 6S Plus. I mean, I've had it pretty much ever since that time. So, this new one is rumored 6.7 inch screen. So that's some pretty good big real estate for an iPhone.
Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed about the whole size change that they're talking about. I have the iPhone 11 Pro, and I really like that size. I like that 5.4 inch size. I guess they can't really cram it into a 6.1 inch form factor and still maintain those dimensions. So it's going to get a little bit bigger. I may have to live with it, but yeah, I don't know. Once you're pushing over 6 inches, I tried an iPhone 10s Max, or which one was it? I got a Max. No, I got it wasn't that generation. It was like the 8 Plus or whatever it was. I'm trying to remember all the naming, and hated it. I tried it for a year. It was too big a device for me. So, and when the was it the iPhone 11 that was the 6.1 inch?
Yeah, it started with the 10R started it. So
10R.
10R started it, and then it went to the 11, which was
I lose my timeline. Yeah, so when the 10R came out at 6.1 inches, I went in to try that to see if it was, because I thought, hey, man, that might be a nice mid size between the 5.4 and the 6.5 or whatever, and it was still, I was kind of like, no, this is still kind of a little bit too big for me. But I guess Apple's not going to leave me a choice.
This is the 10R, and I mean, it's to me it's small because compared to this one,
you do get used to it. You get used to it.
Yeah, for me, it's more about pocketability, and I like to, I usually have my phone in my right or left front pocket, and jeans, it just at that 6.5 inch size, it definitely kind of crams into your leg if you're sitting in certain places. So I was constantly having to take my phone out of my pocket, put it on the table, and then you worry about losing it or knocking it off, so I don't know.
It would be great if
it's really a first world problem.
That's right.
It'd be great if they kept the same case size, because every time they come out with a new phone,
I know. Well, that's the thing. They're talking squared off iPhones, just like the old SE and like the iPads are now.
Well,
I'm excited about that. I like that design.
Like the old, like the iPhone 4, wasn't it?
4S, 4S was the first one to have that metal band with this more squared off edges with the chamfered edges. I don't know if they'll still have the chamfered edges. I would imagine.
Yeah, right. But I did want to talk a little bit about the HomePod. I'm a believer. I think there is going to be a HomePod Mini announced, only because it just seems awfully strange that Google came out with their new Nest speaker when they announced the Pixel 5, the 5A, and that a big announcement, and of course the Chromecast with the Google TV. So there's their competition right there. But I mean, I know it's never been a track record of Apple, following behind what Google does, but I think they really need to get into this more affordable speaker market, and I'm hopeful that I could see something like that, get people excited about the HomePod, because I don't think the HomePod is selling all that well. I mean, I have a pair of them sitting next to me here, and I love them, but not everybody can afford them. They're expensive. So I'll be interested to see where that goes. I don't know if you guys think anything other than that.
I think it'd be great. I mean, if they can get something in that $150 to $200 price range, I think that would be killer for them, because the current HomePod's about $300, $299 now.
Yeah, depending.
It started at $350, $349. So, and yeah, you can get them even cheaper. So if they can start pushing down more toward that $100 or $50 price point, I think they would do a lot better with that product.
And follow up on the next story I have in our notes here is a leaker had confirmed that the HomePod Mini is coming this year. There was a pretty confident leaker out there that says that Apple will launch the HomePod Mini, but there will not be a HomePod 2, and I didn't think there would be. I just don't see. I mean, they haven't even updated the HomePod software yet. It's still sitting at iOS 14, iOS 13. I mean, it's not on HomePod OS 14 as of yet. So, so they've kind of delayed on that. But I think this is a pretty solid rumor that they're saying it's potential that the Mini could come out.
That'd be great. It'd be a nice little additional one more thing.
Absolutely. So be interesting to see here. And then also link back the event wallpapers were actually posted, and it's unusual to see Apple be open to do that. In fact, I put it on my iPhone. I think that's a really cool event wallpaper that they came up with this with the variation. And you look at it closely, people are like, they're speculating, is that a AirTag is in there? I can't tell.
That's the AirTag right in the middle.
Yeah,
looks just like it. No, I'm just.
Yeah. Exactly.
I always want to read the tea leaves on the. I don't think Apple marketing buries hints in their their invites beyond the naming or the title.
Yeah. So take a look at that. That was the link in there as well. So, and then TVOS they did release an update 14.0.2. This was a Mac Observer. It did bring it did bring a lot of features in tvOS 14. And it seems like all they really are saying is stability improvements, and they only had released 14.01, which is the same version of iOS. And I'm not sure what they really hadn't said what updates were on there. Do you use Apple TV, Adam?
Oh yeah, right. Last night, because I was complaining because I went to go watch Long Way Up, the latest episode of Long Way Up, and my Apple TV's like, oh, you need to log into your iTunes account. And I went, what? Okay. I plugged my stuff in, and it said, you need to log into your iTunes account. I said, okay. Plug my stuff in. It's spinning. And I'm like, well, what's going on with this? And I checked Apple's down system, and they're like, nope, everything's fine. And I checked, then I, picked up my iPhone. iPhone, same thing. Well, I did all this troubleshooting first, and then I just put out on Twitter, and I was kind of tongue in cheek because I was showing the screenshot of it, Apple saying it wasn't down. And then I said, is it down? And immediately got confirmation that a bunch of people were having the same issue. It seemed to be maybe isolated to the US, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then reached out to Apple support. They never got back to me. I think they still haven't gotten back to me via Twitter. And then it was kind of resolved a few minutes later, but I had already moved on to Hulu. So I went and watched Making It instead.
Did you watch Ted Lasso? Is the question.
The entire season, yes, and it was awesome. I want to watch it. I'll probably watch it again.
I can't wait.
Trying to get my wife to watch it. She won't do it, but yeah, I loved
it. Me neither. My wife did, but didn't really. She sat down and kind of watched part of an episode with me, but wasn't really super interested.
We lived in London. We were expats a couple of years ago, and I'm like, you're gonna love it. They like, it's an Americans in London, and they make fun of London. I'm like, it's perfect. No, I'm not interested. So whatever.
Everybody should watch it, in my opinion.
Oh my
It's one
God,
of the best things on any service right now.
one
I'm
of
a
the
little
most feel
bummed.
good shows you'll ever watch.
I'm a little bummed. Tomorrow is going to be sad. It's the first day, the first Friday that it's not going to be
Without
on.
Ted Lasso. I know.
Yeah.
We
I'm
can't wait.
watching. I'm watching The Boys. So this is the last tomorrow.
Oh my God, that show is wicked.
Do you watch that?
I started
Yeah,
watching it. It's
Yeah.
nasty.
kind of brutal. Yeah.
Last week was crazy. It was crazy. Tomorrow,
I gotta. I don't say anything because I don't want any spoilers. So I think I'm still on season 1, so I gotta finish that.
Oh, God,
before I get to
yeah.
season 2.
tomorrow's the finale of the second season. So
Oh, I got some catching up to do. So
Yeah, but you EV guys, you should. I started watching a Long Way Up, and it wasn't even something that I thought I would be interested in, and it's great.
yeah, I
So,
didn't think I'd be interested in that, but yeah, I heard somebody else talking about it too. Supposedly it's the third of a series that they did. There's in the UK.
Yeah, they did Long Way Down, Long Way Round, and this is
Yeah.
Long Way Up.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, one thing I was going to mention about Apple TV Plus, and in fact, there was one story before this hit today,
Mhm.
as we record this, is the fact that they're saying that Apple is going to provide Apple TV Plus subscribers an extra 3 months of free access, extending their free trial through January. And Apple is going to provide, this is on Mac Rumors, Apple TV Plus subscribers will get up to 3 free months of service that will last them up to February of 2021. And this was according to Renee Ritchie, which I would trust.
Yeah, not surprising.
And I'm not surprised at all that this is going to happen, because the other story I had in there, it was more of a PSA. Like if you don't want to renew it, it's going to be expiring end of the month of
Right,
January.
November, yeah.
October 31st will be their last day to cancel it, and
Right. We're in between big seasons of the shows, the second seasons of
like the
morning show and a bunch of those other shows are not out for a few months, so people are going to drop it. They would drop it at this point,
Right.
because there's nothing really going on.
Exactly.
So this way they'll kind of rope you in, until something actually starts up. And of course, if they're delayed, we'll give you another month, until it all comes out.
Smart for them to extend it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
summer.
They haven't extended my account yet. I keep checking. I don't know if you've checked, but
I don't even. Where do you check the?
You go into if you go into the App Store and then you tap your account at the top there under under.
So did they say they're actively rolling it out now, or they're just going to be rolling
and then
it
they're
out?
saying that some people are going to get it, some are not. Just checking again as I checked before, and it still says November 1st. So it must be a rolling release. They're gonna, or they'll probably do it right at the last day and then renew it. So
yeah, maybe they're saving it. Maybe they're saving it to announce on Tuesday.
Very possible. Again, this is from Mac Rumors, and other rumor sites have been, but
Right.
This was Renee. I trust Renee Ritchie because.
Yeah, it could be a nice little side announcement, or just a mention in one of the one of the sites. Oh, and by the way, hey, we're going to extend everybody's Apple TV Plus subscription. 3 months.
Yeah, and one other thing was, it's a sad day. The iPhone 5C is going to now be a vintage product after October 31st. How sad is that? And that, of course, was a small size phone too. That was a 4-inch screen.
That was a cool device.
It was I like the colors. That was when they released. That's the first introduction to having the all the cool colors on the iPhone.
My son had one. I think he had a green one.
Yeah, that was a good phone at the time. That was about 7 years ago. I think that's fair. I mean, they stopped supporting it. Of course, iOS. I don't even know why iOS 13 went on. I think the 12 was the end of the road. So, and it was you could get a good deal on it at the time with the contracts that were still around back in those days. So, but it is going to be vintage. So yeah, Apple's been starting to push some vintage products, but I think Apple's pretty fair when it comes to keeping products in place here. So, OtterBox and Bridge, this is in the 9to5 Mac, announced a collaboration on new accessories following a strategic investment. Otter Products, the company behind the popular OtterBox cases, announced that they have an investment in Bridge. And I wondered how Bridge could survive just with what they sell with the keyboards and such. And I saw them at CES when they came out with their keyboard with the touchpad before. Of course, Apple did a month later, and interesting to see where that goes. Adam, when you think of this, this is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get into accessories too much, but Bridge makes really cool stuff. OtterBox makes really cool stuff that people really like. So, yeah, if they're working together, I would expect that they have some pretty cool stuff coming out.
Yeah, so I think this is a good strategic alliance here. And
yeah, I've never really had a Bridge keyboard, but I know a lot of people really like them. It basically turns your iPad into a notebook for all intents and purposes. It gives it a much more MacBook feel, I think, than any of the keyboard solutions from Apple. So if that's kind of what you're going for, I know John Martellaro over at Mac Observer really likes their stuff.
Yeah. And well, if you don't know, Maureen and I both have the Magic Keyboard for the iPad 11 Pro.
Yep.
I think Guy got the
he got the Bridge keyboard. Yeah, Guy Cyril. So
with OtterBox, it's just going to be a heavier keyboard.
Heavier
and stronger
pounds.
one.
Yeah, just like you have your case for your case. You have your case for your keyboard.
No, I took it off yesterday. I'm like, I never use my iPad. Why don't I not use it? It's probably because like now it's super heavy. So I got this.
You have the case for your case of your iPad. For your
iPad was it 12
Magic Keyboard?
12 South? I forgot who it is, but they made a case cover for it. So the thing was heavier than like my 16-inch Pro at that point. So I'm like, this is why I'm not carrying it anywhere, because my 11-inch iPad is heavier than my computer.
Yeah, I think I liked my smart keyboard better, to be honest with you. I kind of wish they'd do a version of that, maybe with a trackpad rather than, the Magic Keyboard is great. It's great to type on. It's got a lot of great features, but I have found that I have basically just removed it for the most part. And I just run my iPad, by itself most of the time now, because, unless I'm sitting down to do work on show notes or something like that, then I'll pop the keyboard on. But, whereas with the smart keyboard versus the Magic Keyboard, I would just leave it on, and just flip it around and use it like a tablet. Yeah. It was always the only thing I ever hated about that was having the keyboard on the back, just the feel of it never felt great, but you could leave it on at least and still, use it. With the Magic Keyboard, you either have to do one or the other. I feel it doesn't really operate as kind of a convertible device very well.
I think Logitech have they have one that is sort of like it's more like a Surface keyboard, I think.
Yeah.
It's like thin like that.
I'd have to give that a shot.
That might be sort of the in between. That came out like not even that long ago. So I would have considered that before I got the Magic Keyboard, to be honest with you, because it is heavy and expensive, and as you said, it's not very versatile. If you want to just take, it's easy to take the tablet off, but then you have an unprotected tablet at that point.
Yeah.
I've been going back and forth lately. I have the Magic Keyboard with the touchpad, and when I want to use the keyboard, I have it. But then I would just take it off and I would put it into my regular, really cool case that I have. That keeps it protected, but then I don't have to depend on the keyboard being there. I can flip it and all that. So sometimes I'm carrying both with me, which is crazy, but it all depends on how you feel when it comes to what you need with your iPad. So
yeah. The other thing that was ironic is I never got in the habit of using the little charging port on the side of the Magic Keyboard. Like I'd still plug into the side of the
I know.
iPad just out of habit. It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to plug in over here now, I guess.
No,
I don't know.
It charges faster in the actual port on the iPad than it does on the keyboard side. So that's why I don't do that. But
Apple is going to be announcing their earnings on October 29th. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. I anticipate to say that they're probably going to see some details of the Apple Watch Series 6 sales and the Watch SE. It's going to be interesting to see where things go. I mean, they had a great quarter last time, and of course, back at that point, they were doing a 4-to-1 stock split. So stock's been kind of holding tight, been up and down here, but it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. What do you think, Warren? What'd you think, Warren?
I'm sorry, I had beat. Yeah, I got excited when it was the 125 after split, and then it kind of nosedived down. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be like it always is. We did good, and everything's fine, and services did this and that. So, I don't think it's going to be bad news. To be honest with you, so
I don't think so either.
Yeah, so let's see what happens.
You feel the same, Adam?
I think it's likely to be pretty flat. Only because usually when they're doing this announcement, they will have had a couple of weeks of iPhone sales and pre-orders and stuff like that, and that usually beefs up this quarter. And they're not having it this year. Obviously, they're going to have Apple Watch. The saving grace for them might be services. I think I was reading they made like 19 billion over the last quarter in or billion. I'm going to get my numbers wrong. Yeah, in App Store sales. Like App Store has been going gangbusters. It's like up massively because people are at home and looking for stuff to do and downloading apps and games and all that sort of stuff. So that'll probably help bully them up a little bit. And it'll just be interesting to see, where services is at. If they see really good growth in services, then that'll be a good sign. But overall revenue wise, I would expect that it's going to be pretty even flat. I don't think it's going to be down at all. I just don't expect it to be like a big growth quarter for them.
Yeah. The fourth quarter coming up, that's where it's going to be.
Yeah. When the iPhone sales kick in, I think they're going to have a great holiday quarter, especially if they announce new headphone products and other audio products. I mean, those are great things that people will want for Christmas.
They're going to have some iPhone sale numbers though. If they announce something next week and pre-orders go the week after, they could at least tell. We got a whole bunch of pre-orders for the cheaper version of the phone, which usually sells pretty well.
Yeah. So, it just won't be like in years past.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. And then moving on to the next story. This is in Apple World Today. Apple Music saw its paid subscriptions grow to 21% in the second quarter. Global online music streaming revenues have declined over most of the services, but Apple Music is at 21%. And actually, there's a great bar graph here on the site here showing that the breakdown in Spotify is still 34%. So they're pretty dominant in the music market, with Apple behind them at 21%. And Amazon Music right there, 15. I've never even heard of 10-cent music. I don't even know. I don't know if you guys have heard that or not, but
isn't 10 Cents the parent company that owns Epic Games, right? It does Fortnite.
Oh, maybe.
I'm guessing it's maybe a Chinese music service.
Must be. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like YouTube Music holds its own. I mean, I'm a YouTube Premium subscriber, which also includes music, and they've got pretty good service. And interesting is you can easily download the music from YouTube Music, and if you want your own copies of it, just using a YouTube downloader. So, so it's a little easier to grab music if you so wish. But you're a subscriber, so what difference does it make? And others at about 13%. But things are slowing a little bit. But a lot of people are at home now, working from home, and with the pandemic going on, and so I think a lot of people are listening to music. And then with the Apple Bundle coming up, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes as far as growth, because people are going to be grabbing up those bundles when that comes out. They said the fall. I mean, it is the fall, so maybe they'll announce it next week. It's coming out next week. Well, they got to get Fitness Plus in place too. They want that all ready to go too.
Yeah, I think they were probably waiting for the iPhone announcement to happen. So I would imagine when that happens and they're ready to release Mac OS Big Sur, they'll roll out that service after that. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to jump in on that bundle for sure. I'm going all the way in, because it ends up saving me money over what I'm already paying.
I don't care about arcade, but but the rest.
Oh, you should.
That's right. Are you a gamer? You are a gamer.
I'm not a gamer. I just love Apple Arcade. I love having it. There's tons of great stuff on there, and it's just, you'll enjoy having it. The option to just like grab a game and not have to deal with in-app purchases and like gems and like, you got to wait to power up this thing. Like all that stuff's super annoying. And to just have games that you can just download, enjoy, and play. And we played a lot of them. And with the gaming controller on the Apple TV, got a PS2 controller, 3 controller, or whatever it was, 3. And it works great. So yeah, we'll sit down and play it. I you'll like it. I think it's an underrated service. I think a lot of people kind of knock it just because they're not gamers. But I mean, think about it. If you buy one game a month, you could have 100, 150 titles and growing for the same price as one game that you might buy. Yeah. So that's kind of how I looked at it. I was easily spending, a couple bucks a month on a game or an app or something on the App Store. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Right. We hope it gets announced when it's going to be released. It's like, I agree. I'll sign back up. I canceled my News Plus subscription for now, but I'll welcome it back because I did like News Plus.
I jumped in on that 3 free month thing, so I think I'm on that now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Best Buy. Best Buy was doing 3 months for free, and it was you could get it even if you had already done the free trial from Apple. So I jumped on that.
Nice. Okay, and then last story we had, this was in the Mac Observer. DuckDuckGo released driving walking directions that's powered by Apple's Map Kit. On Thursday, the privacy search engine DuckDuckGo announced new maps, new map tools that help people plan their travel routes and walking and driving directions. Like its embedded maps, the new feature is now powered by Apple's Map Kit, the JS framework. And gives you options of doing routes and directions and all that stuff, and that's neat to see, and especially with DuckDuckGo how much they are into privacy, making sure things are a lot less intrusive as Google is. So
we don't want to know what you're doing. We don't want to know where you're going.
Exactly.
No,
they don't even know.
Don't want to know anything about you. We don't know where you are. We don't know who you are. We don't know what you like.
Yeah, this was just announced today, I believe. As we record this, so use Apple Maps, Adam. Do you like Apple Maps? I do.
I love Apple Maps. Yeah, I just can't wait for them to get look around down here in San Diego.
I'm surprised
I was a little jealous that they rolled it out in the UK and London and
what's up with that?
Edinburgh.
I think Arizona got it today or yesterday.
Did they?
I heard someplace.
Arizona got it too. Dang it.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Like Phoenix.
I don't know exactly
Tempe?
where.
Dang. Well, maybe it's Flagstaff.
It's really good. Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised you guys that San Diego doesn't have that. I mean, San Diego's a big city. I mean, it's
well, Chicago should have it too by this point, right? It does.
Yeah, we've had it. Yeah, absolutely.
Phoenix. It's now available in Phoenix. Yes, as of yesterday. So
man, they gotta get going here.
Yeah.
So
LA, I think they got Las Vegas, right? LA, I can't think of all the places.
New York and all the big cities.
It's like Google. It's like
Tokyo.
Street View and Google. It's the same thing, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, but it's have you used it much? It is better. Like it kills Street View.
It scares me. I go search my home and oh my God, you have a picture right at my front door. I mean, it's like right there.
Yeah, they've got a lot more high resolution photography. I mean, granted, Apple started much later, so they get to take advantage of and I don't know how frequently Google is going around to update their imagery, but you can only do it so fast, right? Like you only have an army of so many cars, so there's inevitably out of date stuff. But and Apple's is like they have so many photos when you're kind of going down the street, it's almost like it's a video, it's almost like it's animated, but it's just a series of stills as you're chugging along. So it's not like in Google where you tap and you just sort of jump to that location. You actually sort of fly to that location, and you can really zoom in on stuff. And then just the overlays with the point of interest data and stuff like that's really neat how that works, because you can tap on something and it slides out restaurant information and hours and stuff, all that stuff that was powered by Yelp. But I guess we heard that Apple's going to be starting to do all that data themselves as well too. So the DuckDuckGo thing is interesting. I often wonder how far are we away from Apple making that the default search engine, and I think the only reason they haven't done it yet is the amount of revenue they get from kickbacks from Google for Google being the search engine. But
at least you can do it yourself.
Yeah, well, if Apple's really serious about privacy, though, they would make that the default and kind of
make people change it back to Google if they wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, Google's results are a little bit better than DuckDuckGo. So
I know a lot of people who use DuckDuckGo. My wife switched recently, and she's enjoying it actually more than Google. So she likes the ads not following her around the web.
Yeah, I know. She goes to search for something, and then, hey, I just looked at that, and now you're trying to sell me something.
But that's a good thing. People don't like that. I like that. I'm like, show me something I want to see.
No, the when it became annoying to me was so I have my insurance through State Farm, and I go on once a month to pay my bill. I go to State Farm, and for about 2 weeks after that, I get State Farm ads everywhere. And it's like, Google, can you make your algorithm just a little tiny bit smarter? Because if my browsing behavior is once a month at the same date, I go to the website one time and I click the link to go to the payment page, all this, they have all that data. It's like, you could probably infer that I'm already a customer.
Right.
Yeah. And why not, if you were really smart, you would show me ads for every other insurance provider. That would be amazing. That I could appreciate.
I think it's Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
He's putting your information.
I'm wearing khakis.
So when that happens, I'll give them kudos. It's like, yeah, recognize that I'm already a customer, and then help the competitors try and market to me. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
they're really on it.
It's like, typing in "my butt hurts" and then seeing Preparation H ads. That's how it should be going.
That's right. Oh my gosh. On that note,
it'd be great.
Sure.
Oh my God, you cracked me up. Move on to our topics of the week. The beta this week. If you don't know Adam, Warren is the one that likes to live on the edge and puts all betas on every primary device he has. So
you only live once.
Is he doing developer betas or the Apple
developer?
Developer betas. Woo.
Yeah,
that's really living
he's
on
very
the edge.
brave. He's
not the public betas.
No. What's the worst that could happen? I survived iOS 14, so there you go.
Yeah, he did. So beta 14.2, beta 2 is still out. They hadn't made any updates. The one good thing, and I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, is I have the 10R as my test device, and 14.2 wasn't working. Remember, I showed you that picture of the Warren, that the keypad was like half up on the screen. I was like, this isn't working right. And then Apple then pulled it, realized it was a problem. So, but it's back on the 10R, and seems like it's working okay. I mean, I think Shazam integration is now part of 14.2, and was there anything else that was standing out for the beta 2?
No, and I thought they added Shazam to the public one. The
they did.
Yeah. So
let me rush out and get that. And that I definitely need.
Yeah, right. That's one thing I never use either. Yeah, no, it's the same. I don't know if you guys have it. Do either of you use the Siri shortcut widget at all?
I should. I don't.
The widget? No, not the widget.
So there's I don't know if you can see it, but there's a Siri shortcut widget that puts the 2 rows of 4 icons that it thinks that you want to use. But every so often, the word shortcuts or Siri shortcuts comes on the screen, and it blocks the letters of the app icon words. So I don't know if that's a bug on the beta or is that something.
No, I'm sure it's beta. I don't have that problem.
but other than that, it's probably the exact same build that everybody else.
Well, they should be. I mean, I would think it's getting close to release. It's got to be pretty close.
Right.
But or maybe they'll hold tight till next week.
Next week, I think, because they dropped.
Comes out.
Last week they dropped the betas on the same day. I guess they don't usually do that. So
yeah,
Mac OS and iOS
less than 24 hours to get things ready that they should have already had done in the first place.
Yep.
Good stuff. So and the next topic was Apple Watch. Adam, it's good to hear that you went and jumped into the Series 2. You
finally upgraded.
Series 6. I'm saying you had Series 2.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, that's good. Good to hear. And kind of tell listeners what your experience has been with it so far. And which one did you? Which one did you get?
Just the space gray aluminum.
Okay.
And that was kind of
the blue one. I got the blue one.
That was, I looked at the blue, I looked at the red, and I kind of felt like it limited. I was worried it was going to limit the kind of the band choices as I was playing, because I went through, Apple does a really good job of letting you like mix and match the bands and kind of see how everything is going to look together. And I was kind of like, blue looks good with the blue band. It looks good with maybe a red band, but you start combining some other colors. Blue's not as bad as red. Red was kind of like, black's nice and neutral. It seems to go with it pretty much everything. I didn't think it looked great with some of like the green colors that they had and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I guess that gives it a kind of a military look. Anyway, that was kind of where I made my decision. I was kind of excited about the blue being a new color that hadn't been there before.
That's why I did it.
But the other thing was I have a yellow case on my iPhone, and so I went with the yellow. I think they call it the ginger color sport band. Okay. And didn't go for one of the new loop bands, mainly because I didn't want to deal with sizing stuff without being able to try it on.
I like these the mesh, the ones that come out.
Can I ask you about those? So I have a question about those, because I went in and looked at them at the Apple Store, and the new, because they use kind of a Velcro hooking mechanism,
right? Yeah,
right. And so like the outside part of it, though, to me felt like it was not as nice anymore as the old woven ones that they used to have. It really? Looked like it had a little bit of like a fuzz to it.
There's different ones. I actually have a Nike one and an Apple one, and some of them are fuzzier than others. So I think it depends on which one it is.
Yeah, I had one of the older ones.
All these bands I have here.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, Warren. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, even a couple of years ago, it's the same way. Some of them are definitely different feel than others. I don't know why, but
I'm showing that camera. I mean, you have these were the two other mesh ones I was wearing all the time, and I guess if you compare it to that one, it does look a little fuzzier on these.
Yeah.
These other two, I have like a gray one and kind of a dark, almost black one.
I totally want the braided loop.
Bands.
I want the braided loop so bad, but you have to wait. It's shipping in December, so
the leather braided loops look nice. Yeah,
I totally want.
I'm just worried about sizing and expensive.
That's $100 and expensive. Was it $99 for it?
Yeah, the mesh one was $100. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then you get third-party knockoff ones for $20 or whatever, right?
I saw them coming out, but it's like you got to measure it too, and I don't think I trust that too much. But for $20,
I never had problems with a buckle or a clasp. Like, doesn't bother me, but I guess like buttons, this one too. Like buttons to Steve Jobs, I guess like buckles are to Tim Cook. It's like, who knows?
Do they sell?
I've been so sick of go ahead.
Do they sell any watch band with the typical?
Yeah, they have the classic buckle, right? Still, do they still have that one?
I thought this is the one I'm showing on camera, but
yeah, classic buckle.
I don't think they make this anymore. I think they stopped.
Yeah,
it was very.
I have that.
Go back and look.
The leather. They have a leather one that's only available for the 40-inch one that I really love, and they never put it out for the 44.
Huh. So getting back to my Apple Watch impressions.
We love it's watch bands. Come on.
The packaging was very interesting this year. Definitely looked like they were trying to be more eco-friendly, although it was ironic. I mentioned this on my podcast because I think it's smart the way they're doing it. And I don't know how long they've been doing this because I haven't bought an Apple Watch in a long time. But the fact that the watch face came in a separate box from the watch band, and the watch band box was just the basic same one you would have got off the shelf if you bought it separately. So that obviously is what gives them the ability to allow you to mix and match any combo, because they just like grab one of these, and they put it in a little wrapper now and then ship it out. So I thought that was very smart. And the outer box is not that big, heavy cardboard. It's just, like a wrapper. So I thought that was neat. But then ironically, the watch face had to come in a box that was exactly the same length as
That long.
So it's like, it's like that long, and it's for a thing that's like,
this, and then it's got to have the pack of instructions and
it does have the charging cable, but I mean, you could have fit it in a box that was maybe a third that size probably, and that would have been maybe a little more eco-friendly. So that I thought was a little bit ironic, but the immediate impression of the Apple Watch, obviously upgrading from a Series 2, the hugest thing is the speed. The app, I can actually use apps now. Like I did not use apps on the Series 2. I just used the built-in features mainly because it would take like 30 to 60 seconds to launch, like a weather app or something like that. So that's been a game changer for me. And surprisingly, I thought it was kind of lame, but I am actually liking the new hand washing feature because I've never been very diligent or very good at that. And so it's a nice little habit changer. We're trying to figure out how that thing worked, and it looks like it actually uses audio to a certain degree, as near as I can tell.
Here's the water.
Yeah. And it even will do it delayed, I've noticed too. So you can start, and it might not kick, the timer might not kick on right away. And then once it hears the water, it must have some sort of back intelligent technology, because it'll adjust. Like sometimes it'll start right away and you'll get the 20 seconds. Sometimes it'll kick in and it'll be like, oh, you got 5 seconds left. It's like, wow, okay, cool. So that was pretty neat.
I hate that feature. It never works for me.
Hand washing feature?
Yeah, it always goes off when I'm not washing my hands, and when I'm
really?
washing my hands,
I've tried to fool it, and I've had no luck.
I'm trying. Is it working?
I think I was doing it. I don't know what I was doing.
Nope, it's not working.
And then also, if you stop moving your hands, if you're washing your hands and you stop moving your hands, the timer it stops.
Yeah, you're not washing your hands anymore.
Yeah,
well, I am. They're under the faucet. It's getting wet. Just because I'm not moving my hands doesn't mean I'm not washing them.
Got to be scrubbing. Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised because I thought it was going to be really lame, and I was like, oh, this ain't too bad. Ain't too bad. And I played with all of the new, I was looking forward to some of the new health features. Again, I don't know how day to day those are going to change my life. The EKG or ECG, excuse me, and the pulse ox. But nice to have. Yeah. Blood oxygen. So yeah, me using it for workouts, and I haven't gone autonomous with it yet in terms of like loading music or podcasts on it. I just stream from my phone still. So
yeah, same.
I got the Wi-Fi model. I didn't do the cellular version. Trying to save money. And then the only other thing was, it was a little bit of a downgrade for me because I did have the stainless steel before. But the main reason I had the stainless steel was I wanted the glass. It was the sapphire glass, because I tend to bump my watch into things. And when I had a Series 0, and I kind of scratched the heck out of it. And so I decided next time I would upgrade. But this time around, I really felt like for what it was a lot of extra money to avoid a couple little nicks and scratches on the glass. And I just really couldn't justify it this time around after having the Series 2, the stainless steel. I like the stainless steel, but it's just like, no, I'm going to save 150, 200 bucks, on that. So at the end of the day, it's an Apple Watch. It's got a lot of really great features. I love it. Notifications and all that stuff, always on display, like all of the upgrades for me were perfect. I think it was the perfect amount of time to upgrade. The Series 2 was doing great. It was just long in the tooth. And then the last thing that pushed me over was, end of life on the operating system. So I wasn't going to be able to upgrade to watchOS and get the new features. So
yeah, I had the Series 0 and I pretty much dumped it right away. I think I went to I went from the Series 1 right to the Series 2. But I did 2, 3, and then I was with 4. I stayed at 4, didn't get 5. Warren got 5. And then that's why I thought it was a good jump I went from the Series 4 to the Series 6. So I don't think that was too terrible. And Apple gave me $140 as a trade-in. So I just traded in the 4. That was fine. I didn't have to deal with the hassle of having to try to sell it. So, and you wouldn't have got much more difference of price. So
the other kicker for me, and I had totally forgotten, was like last year, I received a $200 Apple gift card.
Nice.
Yeah, as kind of like a bonus thing for some work that I had done. And at the time I thought, you know what, I'm going to save this because I know I'm going to want to upgrade either my iPhone or something in the future. And I had totally forgotten about it. And not long after the announcement, I was going into Apple Pay or something like that. And I saw the Apple card sitting there in my wallet on my phone. I'm like, hey, what's that? $200. I got $200. I'm like, yeah, this is like that's definitely put me over the edge for the Apple Watch, because I was like, all right, I can get $200 off, and if I downgrade, you know, it's not too bad. I mean, it's still expensive, but wasn't too bad.
Oh, sounds like you had a good experience, and you said setup was real is a lot smoother, I think now.
Oh yeah, setup was great.
And watch faces, do you get much into the watch faces at all?
I haven't. I was kind of trying to play around with them a little bit. I used the basic modular one, and it's still the one that's my daily driver. I haven't changed yet. I looked at the Pro. I'm not really into the chronograph stuff, so I don't know. It's kind of fun to have the different watch faces, but it's not something that really puts me over the edge. I'm curious too, like to see, because it's got the sharing feature now, right? You can share your watch faces. I haven't seen anybody sharing watch faces yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys done that. Is that like a feature, like send your friends your watch face, like, check this out, you should get this watch face?
That's definitely the last thing anybody that I would see would want from me. So yeah.
Now, Warren, you're sticking with the Series 5, huh?
I got my Series 5. I was in the mall and I passed by the Apple store and I'm like, let me look at it. And I have my wallet ready to go. And they're like, well, you have to make an appointment. We have one in about an hour and a half. And I'm like, I'm not waiting an hour and a half to make me to shop.
They just saved you some money.
I'm not waiting an hour and a half to give you money.
Pretty much. I'm like, if they would have let me in at that point, because I asked them if they had any stock. You have to stand outside the store when they bring out.
I pick mine up.
Yeah, and they're like, I said, do you have any of the new watches in stock? Because if you go to look on Apple.com, they don't. So I know that they have the band I want, but you can't find out, and they won't tell you. So the only way you could go is to go and make an appointment and hope to have it. And I'm not going through all that. So so I'm gonna stick with the 5. I don't. And kind of like you guys, I think I've had every series, and I think I've had 2 stainless steel models, but the past, I think since 3 or 4, or which one, I've been going the aluminum, because I pretty much sell them. Mostly every time I get a new one anyways, and you don't really get much more money for the, nobody really cares the year later for the aluminum compared to stainless steel. So
no, that's why I think smart on Adam's part that let's go with the stainless.
I'll tell you the glass though. I don't think it's the case, because the case doesn't take too much abuse, and each has their own downsides, right? The aluminum, you might dent it or ding it, whereas the stainless, it gets those micro scratches, but you can buff those out apparently if you just get a polishing compound or something like that. But it was the glass that was the big deal. I mean, that watch, the glass is pristine on my Series 2, and I've had it for how many years? It doesn't have a ding, a scratch, nothing. Like it looks. I found
I found a pretty good screen protector on Amazon that it's cheap enough to keep getting in. Every couple months I order a 5-pack, and it's decent. And
it doesn't look horrible.
No, you can't even tell. It's actually, I'll link it to you, but it's
throw it away in the show notes.
Yeah, it works well, and I've been doing it since I've been getting the aluminum watches.
Is it a film or a tempered glass?
It's a film. I tried tempered glass, like an expensive tempered glass one once, like one of the big brands, and it was horrible. So, because it's such a small screen that it just it bubbles. It doesn't really fit on perfectly because it's just the shape of it.
Yeah. I go swimming with mine, so I don't know that I can do
you can. I've done
a glass one.
Not with a glass, but with the plastic one, it stays on pretty well. So I'll lick it.
Yeah, no, I'd worry with the tempered glass ones about water getting in between.
In between it,
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think we've got some happy Apple Watch.
I wanted to pass along a tip that I didn't run into this because I didn't have a watch that would run WatchOS 7, but for folks who might be doing the upgrade, because you mentioned the upgrade process, very simple, right? You unpair the old watch, that'll do a backup, then you pair the new one and it restores from the backup. I had a listener who went through that process, and when he went to restore, it couldn't find his backup. And lo and behold, the problem is the watch coming out of the factory shipped with watchOS 7.0 point whatever, and they were one level up. He had already upgraded his existing one to 7.0.2 or the newer version. So if you run into that issue, you have to upgrade the new Apple Watch to the latest watchOS to be able to restore it. It won't backwards compatible. So if the new watch had an older operating system than his old watch, so it wouldn't restore the backup. It didn't even recognize it. So someone's upgrading and runs into that problem. Yeah. You might have to set the new Apple Watch up as new, upgrade the operating system, then reset it, and then go through the pairing procedure.
Just have to make sure you have the latest OS on there, on the latest version.
Yeah, I didn't run into that problem because I was, my watch had an older, it was still on watchOS 6. Yeah.
So, all right. So, last thing we wanted to chat about this. So this show is, Tesla. Warren's been pretty excited about his Tesla. I would be excited too. I've been kind of jealous so that you have an awesome Tesla, but they don't tend to work real well with iOS. But how has it been working? Because you have the iOS app. Does it work?
Well, I got the iOS app, but the thing I downloaded the other day, which is called Tesla Remote, is really cool. It basically enables Siri shortcuts for the app that the app doesn't do. So you could pretty much do everything with the shortcuts. You could start it, unlock the doors. So I have it open up the trunk and close the trunk. So like if you're walking with groceries, you could say, "Hey Siri, open up." But what I really want to talk about is a game called Trivia Royale.
Oh, okay.
Which is something I downloaded a couple days ago, and it's pretty up there in the popularity. And it's a really fun trivia game. I used to play the one that went away. What was it? HQ Trivia, and that one kind of imploded. This one's fun too. And
this is for the Tesla?
No.
I thought you were going to talk about Tesla. And you moved right to Trivia Royale. Did you have any other thought? I mean, how are the apps? That's what I think Adam and I were both anxious to hear how the iOS apps are working for you.
They're fine. Yeah, the Tesla apps. You could do everything from it. You could do the software updates. It's your key.
Are we talking about Model 3?
This is a Y. This is the new.
You got the Y. You've got the new one.
The crossover-y thing. So it's
nice.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So.
And this remote for Tesla, this is a third-party app.
It's a third-party app. It's actually not cheap. It's $30.
$30, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does just the Siri shortcuts. I mean,
is anything with the Tesla cheap? Like how much you got to pay, like massive amounts if you want the full automation, massive amounts if you want the ludicrous mode. Right.
The ludicrous mode, right?
I could pay.
What does ludicrous mode cost these days? $5,000, $10,000. I don't know.
It's crazy, but I could pay $2,000 to get like 0.5 seconds in acceleration. It's stupid. But with this app, I'm just looking here. With this app, there's all these shortcuts you could do, and some of them are like crazy, but the one I like the most is to summon. You could summon the car to you. So if you're standing somewhere like not too far, but the car will come to you. So you could do that with
it actually moves, pulls out of the spot, and
you can't see it. So like you could actually say, hey Essie, send the Tesla to me, which is kind of neat. So
just make sure your cat or dog isn't anywhere in the area.
Yeah.
Well, I'm too scared to use it. I haven't tried it yet because I know it's going to hit something. And
well, do it in your driveway.
Yeah,
I've heard of people having it like bump, backing out of the garage or whatever. I don't know how it's supposed to totally work.
Yeah, you're not supposed to use it in public locations. So I imagine like if I'm in a mall and like you're walking in a parking lot and you see a car driving itself to to somewhere, you're not going to be happy with that either. So
someday though, it'll be normal, right? So this is just the start. It's cool. And it's cool it can do it.
I'm waiting to walk out of somewhere with my wife where it's pouring rain and I could pull that thing out and say,
hey, pull the car up to the door.
This is a day we've been waiting for, where the car's going to like make it so we don't have to get wet, but it hasn't happened yet.
And it works on the Apple Watch too, I see too. That's kind of cool.
It does, yeah. So the shortcuts are there. There's actually a watch app where you could do a few of the things. You could set the temperature, you could unlock the doors and stuff like that. But the unlocking the doors and trunk is a big thing with the app, because with the Tesla, you don't get a car key. You get your phone and a card, like an actual card. So there's no like fob to open up the trunk when you walk in towards it. So this is a good alternative to that.
All right. Well, that was a good review, because you threw us off here. We wanted to hear all about it, and
now trivia.
Trivia Royale.
Now you could tell us about Trivia Royale. That'd be great.
It's actually a really, really fun thing. It's a fun game, and I'm very surprised.
Does it do the payouts like that other one?
No, it doesn't do
it.
It doesn't do the
fun
payouts.
Trivia.
It's fun trivia. The payouts thing did not work out for.
It's got
Trivia HQ or whatever
out of 5 in ratings, so it must be good.
Yeah, it's really. It is good.
There's a couple trivia apps that I used to play, and now I can't remember. I think it was Trivia Royale though.
Do you pay the in-app purchases?
I don't know. Yeah, you
$3 to remove the ads.
You have to watch.
I did Trivia Crack and Trivia Kingdoms or whatever. Kingdoms Trivia. I don't know.
Trivia Crack still out there. Yeah, this one, the Trivia Royale does have a in-app. You can remove the ads, but the ads are terrible.
Yeah, usually they are.
Yeah, I play a few other games where like you can't even play it because every other second is an ad, so it's doesn't make it fun, which makes Adam's point about Apple Arcade a good point. So I'm excited to get that back when the bundle comes on, because I did have the Apple Arcade, so I didn't pay for it.
You got me interested too.
Yeah, I'd be definitely curious.
It's like one of those things. I think it's kind of surprising. In some ways, it's for me, it's a little bit. If you enjoy games at all, like because they kind of cover every genre. So, excuse me, they have puzzle stuff. They have side scroller kind of things. They've got a few sports things. I guess that's one of the areas where they're a little deficient. If you're really into sports titles, I don't think there's a ton of sports options out there.
There was one major studio, right? I forgot what it was. There was it wasn't like Mario, but it was something Sonic. I can't remember. They had a major studio title. When it first came out.
Yeah, now we're hearing that they may be working on trying to come up with for future Apple TVs and stuff, actual like console level titles. Like that was a rumor out last week. So I could see them moving into that space, and this being the platform that sort of drives it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Looks like we've come to a close of another fine episode here. I really appreciate you guys being here. And let's go ahead and wrap things up here. That is a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Twitter @intouchwithios, or you can subscribe in your favorite podcatcher, including Apple Podcasts and many others, including Spotify. But better yet, just go to our website intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can follow me on Twitter @DaveG65. Adam Christensen, thank you so much for being here. It was such a pleasure. And where can people find you?
Oh, that's pretty easy. You could find me over at maccast.com. That's the website. The podcast is called MacCast. You can just find that on your favorite podcast app or service. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's just MacCast on Twitter. So awesome. MacCast everywhere.
You've been doing this, 15 years now? Is it?
We'll be 16 years. December 13th, 2004 was the very first episode. Yeah, so
one of the originals. We really love your show, and thanks. I really appreciate you coming back on the show. We'll definitely have you back.
Oh, thanks for inviting me, as always. And again, sorry about last time and the scheduling snafu, but that was all on me.
We,
All right.
we always have a lot of fun when you're here. We appreciate it. And it was too long. It was over a year, so we can't make that happen again. You got to come more often.
All right.
So, and Warren, I know we find you at Back to the Future on Facebook, but how's
Don't
things
worry
been
about
going
me.
out there?
As I always say, don't worry about me. It was a pleasure meeting Adam. Definitely was excited to meet him, and I'm glad to just be here. So thanks.
And programming note, Warren will be on vacation next week. Ms. Kelly Gomot will be here and it'll be just her and I. So it's going to be interesting to talk about the Apple event after the fact. And
not like you're going to have anything to talk about.
Oh, no, not at all. Especially with Kelly. We love Kelly. And and then we will also more than likely have another reaction time episode with simulcasting with our good friend Mike Potter from Mac Guys Only and Mac Stock. And have our guests on, and I'll be putting that in my feed, probably in the feed on Tuesday as we react and react to how great things are going to be on Tuesday. So with the Apple event,
that Apple car and glasses is coming.
Yeah, they're gonna have some glasses.
You just bought a Tesla. Now you want an Apple car already come out. What are you going to do?
I think I'm I might still be in a return period. So we'll see how it goes.
Until then, thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks, guys. That was great.
Yeah, thanks.
I know you got to go, Warren. It's late.
It's just bedtime, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm East Coast. Yeah, so I'm 9:30. Yeah, 9:30 for me.
It's past his bedtime. 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I need to sleep. So.
Adam,
right. It was a pleasure.
It was really nice meeting you. I didn't know about the Facebook group. I have to go check that out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely come join.
I'll send you an invite. Yeah, it's Back to the Future. That's kind of how I met. Warren and a guy actually does a show on Wednesday nights. We just go on there, talk about stuff for 20, 30 minutes and 40 or 50 minutes with Guy, but
well, no, Dave and I talk for about 5 minutes and Guy talks for about 30 40, so.
Yep. Well, I'm going to have to run too. I got to run to dinner. So thanks Dave for the invite. Sorry I was late.
Yeah.
Work's just been crazy. So
no, I hear you. We'll talk again.
Stay safe, everybody. Have a good one.
Yeah.
You too.
You too, guys. Take care.
See ya. Bye.